Have you ever wondered why some people spend their entire lives fighting for every coin, while others seem to rise, expand, attract opportunities, and build prosperity almost as if an invisible force was guiding them? Why do two people, starting from similar places, even from similar pain, end up living completely different financial destinies? Today, I'm going to tell you something powerful, something that many self-made millionaires, including business leaders like Flávio Augusto, deeply understand, but that most people never hear, never learn, and never embody. And this one understanding, this one shift in identity, energy, and consciousness, may be the single thing that will finally separate your old reality from the abundant future you've been trying to manifest. Because the truth is this: backhand index pointing right, it's not luck. It's not education. It's not even hard work. And no one gets rich by accident. There is something deeper, something more invisible, something that happens first inside you before it ever materializes around you. A wealthy life doesn't start in the bank. It starts in the mind. It starts in the energy field. It starts in the identity. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what separates a person who stays trapped in scarcity from a person who breaks cycles, expands consciousness, and creates prosperity in the physical world through pure alignment. Before we begin, I want you to hold a simple question in your heart. What if the only thing missing between the life I have and the life I desire is a shift in who I believe myself to be? This video is not just a lesson. It's not a motivational speech. It's a transmission, a recalibration of consciousness. Because as you listen to these words, you will begin to notice something awakening inside you. A clarity, a certainty, a soft but undeniable voice whispering, "I was made for more." And here's my promise to you. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you will not only understand the hidden difference between scarcity and abundance, you will feel it. You will experience a guided energetic shift, a practical step-by-step process to break internal blocks and open the channels of prosperity that have been dormant inside you for years. We will talk about identity. We will talk about beliefs. We will talk about emotional programming. We will talk about the real mechanics of abundance. Not the fantasy, not the cliches, but the truth that those who prosper actually live. And in the end, I will lead you through a short but powerful energetic realignment, a technique based on spiritual principles, neuroscience, and the foundational teachings of manifestation, designed to reset your inner frequency to abundance and open you to receive. So take a breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let the mind soften. And allow your heart to receive what it has been asking for. Because today, you're going to hear what few people ever hear. You're going to discover what truly separates someone who remains financially stuck from someone who rises beyond the limitations of their past and steps into a new destiny. This is the beginning of your shift. Are you ready? But before we go deeper, I want to tell you something that may feel uncomfortable, yet liberating. Prosperity is not something you chase. It is something you become. The people who rise from nothing, who build empires, who transform their lives in ways that seem impossible, they are not born lucky. They shift into a version of themselves who is capable of receiving what life has been trying to give them all along. And the moment this shift happens, not months later, not years later, but the moment the inner transformation begins, reality starts bending. Opportunities appear. Resources align. People come into your life. The impossible slowly becomes natural. And that is exactly what this video is designed to ignite inside you. And here is why you need to stay until the very last minute. Backhand index pointing right, the breakthrough happens when you connect the knowledge with the practice. The first part of this video will reveal the hidden mechanics of wealth consciousness, what millionaires understand about energy, identity, and action that the majority simply never learned. But the true turning point comes at the end, during the guided exercise I'll take you through. That is where we rewire the emotional patterns that have kept you stuck, release the subconscious blocks that sabotage your manifestations, and anchor a new internal frequency of abundance. If you miss that part, you miss the shift. You get the information, but not the transformation. So let me make you a powerful promise, one that many people will feel in their bodies as truth the moment they hear it. If you stay with me until the end of this transmission, you will not leave this video the same person who pressed play. You will understand yourself differently. You will see your path differently. You will feel your relationship with money, with purpose, and with possibility opening and expanding in real time. And when you walk away, you will carry with you a new kind of clarity. The clarity of someone who is finally ready to step into the version of themselves that manifests abundance effortlessly and unapologetically. Have you ever noticed how two people can face the exact same situation, the same setback, the same financial pressure, the same fear, and yet react in completely opposite ways? One collapses, contracts, shuts down, and reinforces the belief that life is unfair, while the other somehow expands, grows, looks deeper, and uses the very same situation as fuel for transformation. This is not about intelligence. It's not about luck. It's not about talent. It's about mindset and energetic identity. It is the silent battlefield where your reality is created long before you see any physical result. Let's talk first about the scarcity mind, not to judge it, but to recognize it. Because if you can't identify it, you can't transcend it. The scarcity mind is built on fear. It is programmed to survive, not to create. It constantly whispers, "There's not enough. I'm not enough. Money is hard. Life is against me. I'll always struggle. Wealth is for others, not for me." This mindset was not born within you. It was inherited from society, from your parents, from your childhood conditioning, from stories you were told, from traumas, from environments where lack was normal. And without realizing it, people who live in scarcity begin to see life through a narrow lens of limitation. They feel trapped, stuck in cycles where every effort leads to more anxiety, more fear, more contraction. The scarcity mind wakes up worried and goes to sleep exhausted. It believes opportunity is rare and suffering is inevitable. Now contrast this with the abundance mind, not as a fantasy or positive thinking, but as a deep energetic paradigm. The abundance mind is not naive. It doesn't ignore reality. Instead, it interprets reality from a completely different frequency. While the scarcity mind asks, "What if everything goes wrong?" The abundance mind asks, "What if everything is actually working for me?" Where scarcity sees obstacles, abundance sees signals. Where scarcity feels threat, abundance feels guidance. Where scarcity reacts with fear, abundance responds with intention. And above all, the abundance mind believes that wealth is not something external. It is a natural extension of who you allow yourself to become. People who operate in abundance don't wait for the perfect moment to act. They create momentum. They do not seek permission to prosper. They claim their right to prosper. They do not fear failure. They interpret failure as redirection. They don't measure themselves by what they have. They measure themselves by their expanding capacity to receive. This is why millionaires like Flávio Augusto insist that wealth begins internally. They understand something essential. Your external reality is always catching up to your internal identity. And here is something powerful. Backhand index pointing right. You cannot manifest abundance with a mind programmed for scarcity. It is impossible vibrationally, emotionally, and energetically. You must shift your consciousness first. Not because the universe is withholding anything from you, but because your internal state determines what you are able to perceive, attract, and hold. A person with a scarcity identity could receive $1 million tomorrow and lose it within months. A person with an abundance identity can start with nothing and build an empire. The difference is not luck. It is identity, belief, emotional frequency, and alignment with purpose. Let's go deeper. The scarcity mind lives in contraction. Constricted breath, tight chest, shallow thinking, short-term decisions, fear-based actions. The abundance mind lives in expansion. Open body, spacious awareness, long-term vision, calm confidence, aligned action. You can feel it in your body. You can sense it in your energy. When you are in scarcity, everything feels urgent, heavy, desperate. When you shift into abundance, even if your bank account hasn't changed yet, your energy becomes magnetic. You begin thinking differently, acting differently, speaking differently, and the world responds. Here's the truth most people never hear. Backhand index pointing right abundance is not a financial state. It is a psychological and spiritual state. Backhand index pointing right scarcity is not about money. It is about identity. When you understand this, you finally stop fighting external battles and begin transforming the source, your inner programming. And if you stay with me until the end of this video, you will experience a powerful exercise designed to help you break those patterns. A guided shift that releases scarcity at an emotional level and installs a new energetic signature of prosperity. This is how your life begins to change. Not with force, but with alignment. Because once your mind and frequency enter the abundant state, the universe stops resisting you and starts responding to you. And here is something most people never realize. The shift from scarcity to abundance does not happen with more effort, it happens with more awareness. Scarcity convinces you that you must work harder, push more, suffer more, and sacrifice more to change your life. But abundance whispers a different truth. You don't rise because you force reality. You rise because you expand your consciousness. This is why some individuals work tirelessly for decades and go nowhere, while others make a single internal breakthrough and their entire reality reorganizes itself. By the time you reach the end of this video, you will understand this shift not as a concept, but as an experience happening inside your mind and energy field. Another reason to stay until the last minute is this. Backhand index pointing right scarcity is not just a mindset, it is a trapped emotional state that lives in the body. It lives in your breathing patterns, in the tension in your stomach, in the memories you avoid, in the shame you carry about money, in the fear of making mistakes, and in the belief that you are somehow behind in life. In the final part of this video, I will guide you through a process that releases this emotional weight, a technique that blends spiritual grounding, visualization, and subconscious reprogramming. Many people describe this moment as the instant where something clicks, where a sense of possibility returns, where they feel lighter, clearer, and ready to take steps that previously felt impossible. So here is my final promise for this section. If you continue watching, you will not only understand the difference between scarcity and abundance, you will feel the shift happening in real time. You will begin to notice your mind opening, your energy expanding, and your intuition awakening. You will start recognizing patterns in your life that once controlled you, and you will see how easily they can be dissolved when illuminated by awareness. And once that happens, you cannot go back. You cannot unsee the truth. You cannot return to the old version of yourself who believed they were trapped. Because abundance is not something you chase, it is something you remember. And in this video, we are bringing you back to that remembrance. Before you can step into abundance, You need to understand the architecture of it. The inner structure that wealthy, conscious, expansive people operate from. Prosperity is not random. It is patterned. And the people who rise, who build, who attract, who transform their lives from the inside out, they all share the same 5 pillars of consciousness. People like Flávio Augusto didn't become wealthy because they were chosen or lucky. They became wealthy because they embodied these pillars, sometimes without even knowing it. When you integrate them, your reality can shift with breathtaking speed. Let's go through each pillar in depth. Large orange diamond, Pillar 1. Identity. Who you believe you are. Your identity is the foundation of your reality. Before any strategy, before any action, before any skill, there is the story you tell yourself about yourself. Scarcity identity sounds like this. I am the kind of person who always struggles. Money is not for people like me. I'm not the type who gets opportunities. I survive. I don't thrive. Abundance identity sounds entirely different. I am capable. I create opportunities. I attract wealth because I am aligned with it. Life responds to the energy I carry. Identity is not a description. It's a frequency. It is a vibration that shapes your decisions, your confidence, and what you allow yourself to receive. If you believe you are someone who struggles, your subconscious will sabotage everything that contradicts that narrative. If you believe you are someone who manifests abundance, your subconscious will seek, filter, and create circumstances that prove that identity true. Here is the breakthrough. Backhand index pointing right. You cannot out-earn a limited identity. You cannot outperform the version of yourself you haven't yet become. This is why millionaires often say, I became a millionaire internally before I became a millionaire externally. Your job is not to chase money. Your job is to upgrade the identity that money naturally gravitates toward. And by the end of this video, through the guided alignment, I'll help you install the identity of someone who attracts opportunities, expansion, and abundance almost effortlessly. Large orange diamond, Pillar 2. Beliefs. What you accept as true. Beliefs are like invisible programs running in the background of your life. They determine how much you expect, how much you allow, and how much you resist. Most people's beliefs around money come from childhood, trauma, culture, or society. Money is dangerous. Rich people are corrupt. It's selfish to want more. I must work to the point of exhaustion to deserve anything. These beliefs create an emotional block. You can visualize, affirm, meditate, but if your unconscious beliefs say, wealth is unsafe, you will repel it every time. Abundance beliefs, on the other hand, are expansive. Money amplifies who I am. The universe supports my expansion. Prosperity is my natural state. The more I grow, the more I can help others grow too. When these beliefs take root, wealth becomes not only possible, it becomes inevitable, because your entire system stops fighting it. And here is a truth people rarely admit. Backhand index pointing right. Your beliefs will always win over your desires, unless you consciously reprogram them. That reprogramming begins now, in this video, as we bring these hidden patterns to the surface. The final exercise will take this even deeper, turning new beliefs into embodied emotional reality. Large orange diamond, Pillar 3. Emotional state. The vibration you live in. Emotion is the language of manifestation. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are emotionally calibrated to receive. Scarcity emotions include fear, shame, anxiety, urgency, insecurity, overwhelm. These emotions send a signal into the universe. I am unsafe. I am lacking. I am in survival mode. And the universe responds accordingly, giving you more situations that resonate with fear and lack. Abundance emotions are entirely different. A gratitude, trust, confidence, expansion, a creativity, peace. These emotions say, I am safe, I am capable, I am deserving, I am ready to receive. This is why wealthy individuals often appear calm even under pressure. They have learned to stabilize their emotional frequency. Here is the secret. Backhand index pointing right. Your emotional state is your manifestation frequency. And your frequency always materializes. When you shift your emotional baseline from fear to trust, from contraction to expansion, the universe begins to rearrange circumstances around you almost magically. And don't worry, you don't need to fake positivity. You only need to release the emotional blocks that have kept you stuck, which we'll do together near the end. Large orange diamond pillar 4. Inner narrative. The story you repeat to yourself. If identity is the foundation, your inner narrative is the soundtrack playing in the background of your entire life. Scarcity stories sound like this. Everything is hard for me. Nothing ever works out. I'm always behind. I can't trust life. These stories become self-sabotaging prophecies. Abundance stories sound completely different. Everything is unfolding for my growth. Challenges are invitations to expand. Life supports me more than I realize. Opportunities find me because I am aligned. Your inner narrative becomes your filter. It tells your brain what to notice and what to ignore. It determines the meaning you attach to every experience. And over time, your story becomes your destiny. Backhand index pointing right. Change your story. And your reality must follow. In the guided process later, we will shift your narrative from fear-based to abundance-based, so your subconscious begins writing a new destiny for you in real time. Pillar 5. Inspired action. Moving with alignment, not desperation. Scarcity action is frantic, desperate, and reactive. People stuck in scarcity force things, chase opportunities, try to survive through exhaustion, and sabotage their long-term future for short-term relief. Abundance action is intentional, calm, strategic, and aligned. Those who thrive don't move from fear. They move from vision. They don't chase. They attract. They don't ask, "What do I need to do?" They ask, "Who do I need to be to allow this?" Inspired action is the bridge between energy and physical reality. It is when intuition and courage meet. It's when an idea arises, and instead of overthinking, you move softly but decisively. Here is the key. Backhand index pointing right. Abundance is not passive. It requires action, but the right kind of action. Not anxiety-driven actions, but identity-driven actions. This is how people like Flávio Augusto built massive success. Not from burnout, but from alignment. By the end of this video, with your identity, beliefs, emotions, and narrative shifting, your actions will naturally shift too. You will feel drawn to decisions, ideas, and opportunities that previously felt impossible. When these 5 pillars align, your life begins to transform in ways that feel almost supernatural. Because abundance is not something you chase, it is something you become. Stay until the end. The exercise we'll do together will activate these 5 pillars inside you at a subconscious level. And that's when the shift truly begins. But here is the part most people never understand. These 5 pillars are not separate. They are interconnected, feeding and strengthening one another like an energetic ecosystem. When one pillar shifts, even slightly, all the others are influenced. If your identity expands, your beliefs begin to loosen and evolve. When your beliefs evolve, your emotions expand. When your emotions expand, your inner narrative transforms. And when your narrative transforms, your actions become powerful, intuitive, and aligned. This is why transformation sometimes feels sudden, because the moment one pillar reaches a new frequency, the entire structure begins to rise with it. And when all 5 pillars align, abundance becomes not just possible, but unavoidable. Another reason to stay until the end of this video is this. Backhand index pointing right, you cannot intellectually understand abundance. You must energetically experience it. You can hear these concepts 1,000 times, but without emotional embodiment, nothing changes. You will continue living from the same identity, repeating the same patterns, and wondering why your manifestations aren't coming. The guided process we will do at the end is designed to bring these 5 pillars from the level of idea to the level of integration. This is where your subconscious begins accepting abundance as the new normal, rather than an exception or fantasy. Many people describe this moment as a turning point, where they finally feel a shift happening inside their body, not just their mind. So let me make one final powerful promise as we close this topic. If you stay through the entire video, you will walk away with a different sense of self, a self that is capable of receiving prosperity. Not someday, not theoretically, but now. You will begin recognizing patterns that once controlled you, and you will feel something inside you awakening. A clarity, a certainty, a deep remembrance that abundance has been your natural state all along. The 5 pillars we explored are not meant to inspire you. They are meant to activate you. And once activated, your external world will begin rearranging itself to match the new energy you hold. This is the power of alignment. This is the power of internal transformation. And this is the journey we are about to deepen together in the next topic. Before we begin the guided process, I want you to understand something essential. Backhand index pointing right prosperity is not blocked in your external world. It is blocked in your internal energy field. Every fear, every memory of failure, every moment you felt undeserving or ashamed, every time money caused tension or confusion, every one of these experiences left an imprint inside your emotional body. These imprints act like knots, like energetic contractions, like walls that push abundance away even when you're consciously trying to attract it. And unless you release these blocks, abundance cannot flow consistently into your life. So in this moment, I invite you to pause. If possible, sit comfortably. Let your shoulders soften. Allow your jaw to release. Let your breath slow down naturally. We're not here to fix you because you are not broken. We're here to reconnect you with the version of yourself that abundance has always been trying to reach. Take a slow, intentional breath in and exhale gently. Let your awareness drop from the mind into the body, into the place where your real transformation happens. Now, I want you to bring to mind one situation in your life where scarcity has shown itself recently. Maybe it was a bill that brought anxiety, a moment you doubted yourself, a job opportunity you felt unworthy of, a conversation about money that triggered discomfort, or that quiet fear deep inside you that says, "What if I'm never enough?" Don't judge it. Just allow it to rise gently into your awareness. As you hold this memory, notice where you feel it in your body. Is it in your chest, your stomach, your throat, your shoulders, your back? Just notice. You don't have to change anything. Awareness itself is the beginning of healing. Now imagine this sensation as a knot of tight energy, a contraction holding years of worry, pressure, and self-doubt. And see it softly beginning to dissolve with your next breath. Breathe in. And as you exhale, imagine that knot loosening, unraveling, releasing its tension into the air around you. Good. Now again. Breathe in deeply. And on the exhale, imagine a warm golden light moving into that area of your body, melting the block from the inside out. This golden light represents abundance consciousness, the energy of trust, possibility, expansion, receiving. It is the same energy that guides people who seem to prosper effortlessly. And right now, this energy is entering you, awakening something ancient and powerful within you. With each breath, feel the golden light expand. Let it spread throughout your chest, your arms, your stomach, your back, your legs, your entire being. Let it illuminate every place that once held fear. Let it soften every belief that once told you, you can't. Let it dissolve every memory that once made you feel small, undeserving, or behind. Now place one hand over your heart, even if you're watching quietly or without the ability to participate fully. Just visualize it, and repeat softly in your mind. I release the energy of scarcity. I release the fear of not being enough. I release the belief that abundance is far from me. I open myself to receive. Feel your heart warm as you say these words internally. Feel the shift, the subtle, powerful shift, happening inside your emotional field. This is the moment where your identity begins to rise into alignment with abundance, where your beliefs begin to expand, where your emotions begin to stabilize, where your story begins to rewrite itself. Now imagine yourself surrounded by a radiant, golden aura, bright, expansive, magnetic. This is your natural state. This is who you've always been beneath the layers of fear and conditioning. In this moment, you are realigning with your true nature. Abundance, expansion, possibility, prosperity. Take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, imagine releasing the final remnants of old patterns, letting them dissolve into nothingness. You are stepping into a new frequency. You are stepping into a new identity. You are stepping into a new chapter. And this chapter is written in the language of abundance. And here's something truly profound. As you release these energetic blocks, even if only a small part of you shifts, your entire reality begins to reorganize itself around that new frequency. Most people think change begins with taking massive external action. But real, lasting transformation begins with a subtle internal opening. A breath, a release, a softening. These small inner movements create ripples that expand into every corner of your life. Suddenly, conversations flow differently. Opportunities show up unexpectedly. Ideas that once felt impossible begin to feel natural. This is the invisible power of energetic clearing. It gently rewrites the map of what your subconscious believes is possible for you. And this is exactly why you need to stay until the very end of this video. Backhand index pointing right, the guided alignment we'll do in the final section is where awareness transforms into embodiment. What you experienced just now is the beginning, the loosening of the emotional grip that scarcity had on you. But the deeper shift, the one that millions try to reach through years of trial and error, happens when we integrate this new energy into your identity, when we anchor it, when we solidify it. Because once abundance is anchored emotionally and somatically, it stops being a desire and becomes your new baseline, your new normal, the version of yourself that wealth naturally gravitates toward. So let me leave you with this as we transition to the next topic. If you continue this journey until the final minutes of this video, You will walk away with an activated abundance frequency, one that your subconscious will recognize as truth. You will begin feeling lighter, clearer, more grounded, and more open to receiving than you have felt in years. Not because of me, not because of these words, but because you allowed yourself to reconnect with the part of you that has always known abundance is your birthright. The part of you that remembers your power. The part of you that is now ready, finally ready, to rise. And we are about to take this transformation even deeper. Now that your energy has begun to open and the weight of old patterns is dissolving, it's time to give your subconscious a new roadmap, a path that aligns with abundance, clarity, and expansion. Transformation doesn't happen through one breakthrough moment. It happens through consistent alignment. And these next 7 days will serve as your bridge from the person you were to the person who is now emerging. Each day has one clear intention, one emotional activation, and one simple action that reinforces the identity of abundance. Follow these 7 days with honesty and presence, and you will witness shifts that feel almost supernatural. Let's begin. Large Orange Diamond Day 1. Reveal the roots of scarcity, awareness, and truth. On this first day, your job is not to be positive, it is to be honest. Take 10 quiet minutes and write down every belief you've carried about money, success, worthiness, and abundance. Don't filter. Don't judge. Just let the truth pour out. Beliefs like, I'm not good with money. People like me don't become wealthy. It's too late for me. Money is stressful. I always lose opportunities. Let them surface. Awareness is liberation. Backhand index pointing right, you cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. Day 1 breaks the illusion, exposes the programming, and opens space for change. Large Orange Diamond Day 2. Rewrite your mind, belief reprogramming. Now take each limiting belief from day 1 and transform it into an empowering, expansive statement. For example, money is stressful becomes, money flows to me with ease and stability. I don't deserve abundance becomes, I am worthy of receiving more than I ever imagined. I'm behind in life becomes, my timing is perfect, and the universe moves with me. Write these new beliefs slowly, consciously. Feel them. Repeat them aloud if possible. You are not just writing sentences, you are rewriting neural pathways. Backhand index pointing right Day 2 plants the seeds of your new identity. Large Orange Diamond Day 3. Gratitude that attracts, vibrational expansion. Gratitude is not cliché, it is vibrational technology. On Day 3, write down 10 things you are grateful for specifically related to abundance, even if your current circumstances don't show it yet. Be grateful for the opportunities coming, the ideas waking up in you, the clarity forming, the money on its way, the new identity you are stepping into, the life you are building, the alignment you feel growing. Gratitude shifts your emotional field from fear to trust. Trust is the foundation of abundance. Backhand index pointing right, what you appreciate expands. Day 4. Visualize your future self, identity embodiment. Close your eyes for 5 minutes and imagine your abundant self. Not as a fantasy, but as someone real, alive, breathing within you. See this version of yourself waking up in the morning. Where do they live? How do they think? How do they carry themselves? What decisions do they make? What opportunities move toward them naturally? This exercise is powerful because the brain cannot distinguish imagination from reality. When you visualize with emotion, you install the blueprint of your future self into your subconscious. Backhand index pointing right. Day 4 anchors identity, the core of abundance. Large orange diamond. Day 5. Take one inspired action, physical alignment. This is the day abundance begins to materialize. Choose one action, just one, that moves you closer to the life you want. It might be sending a message, applying for something, creating something, learning something, launching an idea, organizing your finances, opening a new stream of income, asking for help, saying no to something draining. This is not about pressure. It's about alignment. Because abundance doesn't reward stress, it rewards movement in the right direction. Backhand index pointing right. Small steps from aligned energy create massive shifts. Large orange diamond. Day 6. Practice 1 ACT of generosity, abundance mind activation. Scarcity holds. Abundance flows. On day 6, do something generous, something small, genuine, and from the heart. It might be offering a compliment, helping someone, sharing knowledge, giving attention, or donating something symbolic. This teaches your subconscious a critical lesson. I have enough to give. Whenever you give from alignment, the universe mirrors that energy back to you. Backhand index pointing right. Day 6 activates the abundance loop. Day 7. Reflect, embody and claim, integration. On the final day, reflect on how you feel compared to a week ago. Notice your thoughts, your emotions, your sense of possibility. Write down what shifted, what softened, what awakened, what expanded, what you now believe is possible. Now place your hand on your heart and say in your mind, I claim abundance as my natural state. I allow wealth to flow toward me. I am aligned, receptive, and ready. Day 7 completes the cycle. It seals the transformation. It communicates to the universe that you are not merely wishing, you are becoming. If you commit to these 7 days with presence, honesty, and consistency, you will initiate a deep rewiring of your inner world. Not through force, but through alignment. Backhand index pointing right. This is how abundance becomes inevitable. Stay with me for the final part of this video, where we bring everything together into your new reality. And here's what is truly extraordinary about these 7 days. You are not simply doing exercises. You are training your subconscious mind to recognize abundance as familiar. Most people fail to manifest because abundance feels foreign, distant, almost like a dream that belongs to someone else. But when you follow this 7-day sequence with presence, something subtle but powerful begins to happen. Your mind stops resisting. Your body stops tensing. Your emotions stop sabotaging you. You begin to operate from the identity of someone who naturally attracts opportunities instead of chasing them. And this shift, this internal shift, is what creates the outer transformation so many people spend years searching for. Another reason to stay until the very end of this video is this. Backhand index pointing right. The real transformation happens not just when you complete the 7 days, but when you understand the spiritual architecture behind them. The closing section of this video will reveal how these daily practices link directly to your energetic field, your mental programming, and your manifestation frequency. It will show you how each day dismantles a different layer of scarcity and installs a new layer of abundance. Without this understanding, the practices are powerful, but with this understanding, they become life-altering. This is why the final minutes of this video are essential. They turn your 7 days into a permanent shift rather than a temporary burst of motivation. So here is the promise I want you to hold as we move forward. If you commit to these 7 days and stay with me until the end of this video, you will not only feel different, you will be different. You will begin noticing synchronicities, unexpected opportunities, sudden clarity, and a profound sense of inner stability that you may not have felt in years. You will no longer relate to money from fear or desperation, but from alignment and trust. These 7 days are not the end. They are the doorway. And as you cross that doorway, you step into a version of yourself that is capable, worthy, grounded, and ready for the next level of abundance. The next part of this video will seal that transformation. Take a moment and notice how you feel right now. Notice the softness in your breath, the openness in your chest, the sense of clarity gently rising inside you. This is not coincidence. This is not temporary. This is the beginning of a new internal state. A state where abundance is no longer a dream or a concept, but a frequency you can feel moving through you. The truth is, you didn't arrive at this video by accident. Some part of you, the wiser, higher, more expanded part, guided you here because you were ready. Ready to stop repeating the same cycles. Ready to stop fighting the same battles. Ready to stop living from scarcity, survival, and fear. And now, after everything you've explored, after the awareness, the breakthroughs, the clearing, and the 7-day path, something inside you has shifted, even if it feels subtle, even if it feels small, even if it feels like a quiet whisper. Because transformation rarely begins with fireworks. It begins with alignment, with truth, with remembering who you really are. Look at what you've done today. You opened your mind. You released old patterns. You activated a new identity. You created space for abundance to return home to you. And I want you to hear this clearly. Backhand index pointing right, the version of you who started this video is not the version of you who is here now. You've stepped into a new timeline, a new field of possibilities, a new level of consciousness. But the journey doesn't end here, it deepens. Because abundance is not built in one moment. It is built through consistent alignment, daily expansion, energetic devotion. And that's why I created something powerful to support you in this next chapter. Here is what I invite you to do next. Backhand index pointing right, download the guided abundance meditation I created specifically for this video. It will reinforce everything you activated today. The identity, the beliefs, the emotional expansion, the frequency shift. Listen to it for the next 21 days, and you will notice your entire energy field recalibrating to receive more, attract more, and allow more. The link is in the description. Give yourself this gift. You deserve it, more than you know. And as we close, place your hand over your heart for one last moment, and feel this truth echo inside you. I am no longer who I used to be. I am aligned. I am open. I am ready. Abundance is now my nature. Let this be the moment you look back on one day and say, everything changed here. Because your life does not shift when the world changes. Your life shifts when you do. And today, you shifted. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing expansion. Thank you for stepping into the version of yourself who is finally ready to rise. Your new reality has already begun. As we close this journey together, take a moment to remember the key shifts you experienced today. You learned the profound difference between the scarcity mind and the abundance mind. You uncovered the 5 pillars that determine your financial destiny. You released emotional blocks that have been holding you back for years. And you now hold a 7-day roadmap capable of rewiring your identity for true prosperity. Everything you need to step into your next level is already within you. And today you awakened it. Now I want to ask you something powerful. Which part of today's video had the greatest impact on you? Was it the identity shift, the emotional release, the guided clearing, or the 7-day plan? Share it in the comments. Your reflection may inspire someone else who is beginning this journey, and I love reading how each of you experiences these transformations in your own unique way. And if you're committed to continuing this inner shift, make sure you don't stop here. Backhand index pointing right, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notifications so you never miss the videos that keep your energy aligned, your mindset expanded, and your manifestation frequency activated. This channel exists to guide you, step by step, into the most abundant version of yourself. If you're ready to go deeper, I invite you to watch the previous video I released. It's directly connected to everything we activated today. It will amplify your clarity, strengthen your belief system, and help you integrate abundance even more powerfully into your daily life. You'll find it right here on the screen or in the description below. Thank you for being here, for choosing expansion, and for taking this step toward the life you truly deserve. Remember, abundance is not something outside of you. It is who you are becoming. And this journey is only just beginning.